Fireball came seemingly out of nowhere to quickly become one of the most popular alcoholic beverages around. The brand has skyrocketed to record-soaring numbers and has somehow turned into a go-to brand among a broad demographic, from college students to grandparents. Here's the untold truth of the cinnamon whiskey. There's one thing you should know about Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey before you open a bottle. It's not really whiskey. Just about anywhere in the world, a spirit needs to be at least 40% alcohol by volume, or ABV, in order to legally be called whiskey. So why is Fireball allowed to be called whiskey? Regulations in Canada, where the spirit is distilled, dictate that anything labeled, quote, Canadian whiskey must meet the 40% ABV threshold. There is no such rule, however, about products simply labeled whiskey. These spirits just need to be made from a whiskey base. Fireball is made by adding cinnamon flavoring to traditional Canadian whiskey. Therefore, it is legally allowed to be called whiskey, just not Canadian whiskey. In the United States, meanwhile, flavored whiskey is allowed to be designated as such so long as it is at least 60 proof, 30% ABV, and the predominant flavor is included in the name. Add all of these rules together, and you now know why it's called Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey.
I haven't had a drink of whiskey or slept in a bed in 10 days. Give me a bottle.
It's easy to think that Fireball is a relatively new product, but while its popularity may have skyrocketed in recent years, the spicy booze has actually been around for over 30 years. What we know today as Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey was originally developed in the mid-1980s by the Canadian beverage company Joseph E. Seagram & Sons. It was known back then as Dr. McGillicuddy's Fireball Whiskey, part of a product line of flavored schnapps that still exists today. Dr. McGillicuddy was a completely fictional person, in case you're wondering. For many years, the cinnamon liqueur was primarily sold north of the border. In 1989, the American-based Sazerac company purchased the rights to the entire Dr. McGillicuddy line of spirits and attempted to increase sales in the United States. As part of an advertising stunt, Sazerac paid a town in North Dakota to temporarily change its name to McGillicuddy City in exchange for $100,000, according to the Associated Press. While the promotion may have helped put the rural community on the map, there's no proof it helped sell any more schnapps. In fact, it would take another decade before the brand cinnamon whiskey became a household name. If it feels to you like Fireball whiskey came out of nowhere, you're right. Although the alcoholic beverage we know as Fireball has been around for decades, its name and branding are much more recent creations. After the Sazerac company purchased the rights to what was then known as Dr. McGillicuddy's Fireball Whiskey in 1989, it didn't alter much of anything about the liqueur. That all changed in 2007, when the company rebranded the drink as Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, gave it a new logo, and unleashed a cross-country grassroots marketing campaign. As part of the sales push, company representatives visited local bars, giving away free shots, and interacting with employees on social media. A Sazerac company spokesman told the Huffington Post, "We don't go into bars and hire girls and force people to take a shot. What we have been doing is pushing engagement with people in the industry, particularly bartenders. Whatever they were doing, it was working." Fireball whiskey went from being unheard of to the drink of choice at parties and bars nationwide, all within a few short years. According to Bravo, from 2011 to 2013, Fireball sales increased by nearly $60 million, and those figures only accounted for bottle sales from retail stores, not drink purchases at bars. Once Fireball got its new name and logo, it was off and running. According to The Motley Fool, sales of Fireball jumped from less than $2 million in 2011 to $131 million in 2014. The latter total made it the 7th most popular liquor brand in the United States, according to CNN. But the $131 million figure only accounted for bottle sales from the shelf, not drink purchases at bars, where Fireball was an even hotter commodity. Bar sales of the cinnamon liqueur that same year accounted for roughly $530 million in additional revenue, for an estimated sum of $863.5 million, double its total from the year before. While Fireball isn't sneaking up on anyone these days, and it's no longer the shiny new bottle behind the bar, it's still on the rise. The Beverage Information and Insights Group reported that Fireball sales increased by nearly 8% from 2018 to 2019. This continued growth has established the flavored whiskey as one of the most popular alcoholic beverages, not just in America, but around the globe. According to VinePair, Fireball is among the world's 30 most popular spirits and the 4th best-selling liqueur, behind only Bailey's, Jägermeister, and Fernet Branca. Fireball's catapulted rise hit a momentary blip several years ago, thanks to some unflattering headlines out of Europe. In October 2014, Norway, Sweden, and Finland recalled the liqueur for having excessive levels of propylene glycol, an ingredient also found in antifreeze. It turns out the whole ordeal was much ado about nothing. Unbeknownst to most, propylene glycol is commonly used as a flavor enhancer in food and drinks.
It helps to sort of add a little consistency and prevent coagulation in certain products, so a lot of icings, a lot of cake products.
Although propylene glycol has been declared safe by authorities in both the US and Europe, the former allows for higher levels of the ingredient. Therefore, there are two different Fireball recipes for North America and Europe. Norway, Sweden, and Finland were shipped the wrong batch of the liqueur, which contained an illegal amount of propylene glycol and had to be pulled from the shelves. The company stated at the time, "Unfortunately, Fireball shipped its North American formula to Europe and found that one ingredient is out of compliance with European regulations. Unfortunately for Fireball, the damage was done." To this day, you'll still find people asking if the spirit contains antifreeze. The company is clearly a little bitter about the situation. On its FAQ page, it makes this clear. Fireball does not contain any antifreeze at all. And the suggestion is ridiculous. Sadly, this is the media's way of crafting attention-grabbing headlines, but it simply is not true. You know you've reached success when others start trying to copy you, and that's precisely what happened to Fireball. Not long after the spicy liqueur became a mainstay behind every bar, did other spirit companies try to get in on the cinnamon whiskey trend. There was Sinfire Cinnamon Whiskey from Hood River Distillers and Stout Brewing Company's Fire Flask. Sazerac, Fireball's parent company, sued both for trademark infringement, according to the spirit business. Then the big boys entered the picture. In 2014, Jim Beam unveiled Kentucky Fire, a red-hot cinnamon liqueur. Chris Potter, general manager of whiskeys at Beam Suntory, said in a press release, "We've led the category in flavor innovation in recent years, but our latest flavor certainly turns up the heat. We're thrilled with the initial excitement we've seen for Jim Beam Kentucky Fire." A year later, Jack Daniel's introduced its Tennessee Fire Cinnamon Whiskey, a mix of two of the brand's pre-existing spirits, Old No. 7 Tennessee Whiskey and cinnamon liqueur. According to the Los Angeles Times, it was Jack Daniel's first new flavor since 2011. Tennessee Fire didn't go unnoticed by Sazerac. The manufacturer sued Jack Daniel's for allegedly using Google advertising to send users looking for Fireball to search result pages for Tennessee Fire, according to the spirit business. Let's be honest, no one drinks alcohol for its nutritional value. We all know booze isn't great for our health, so if one particular drink has a few more calories or a little extra sugar, it's not going to raise many red flags. But you should know what you're getting into when you drink Fireball, because the sweetened spirit doesn't just have a little more sugar than most drinks, it has a lot more. The process of making Fireball begins with the base of Canadian whiskey. Then comes the sweet stuff. This includes real cinnamon as well as sugar. Just how much sugar? One shot of Fireball, about 1.5 ounces, contains a whopping 11 grams of sugar. If that doesn't sound like a lot, think again. The folks at Drink Spirits put the sugar content into perspective. Those 11 grams equals 0.38 ounces, which is roughly 25% of the shot. And remember, Fireball is only 33% ABV, meaning there is almost as much sugar in the sweet liqueur as there is alcohol. All that sweetness can take a toll on your body. According to GQ, sugary drinks are more likely to cause hangovers and less likely to provide the desired tipsy effect. Fireball's meteoric rise has made it popular with just about every demographic, from college students to their grandmas. But there may be no group of people who enjoy drinking the cinnamon liqueur, or at least singing about, more than country music artists. The whiskey is name-dropped in a number of country songs, including Blake Shelton's Buzzin' and Florida Georgia Line's Round Here. The latter group in particular has a special fondness for Fireball. According to Vice, the duo regularly takes shots of the whiskey on stage, so much so that the drink is unofficially the official drink of Florida Georgia Line. And let's not forget about Taylor Swift. The ultra-popular singer may not enjoy Fireball as much as Florida Georgia Line, but it appears as if she's been known to indulge in the cinnamon liqueur every so often. In 2018, Swift joined famed country music songwriter Craig Wiseman on stage at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe. According to the Tennessean, Wiseman told the crowd a story about an after-party he held following the CMT Awards. When Swift arrived, she requested access to the Fireball whiskey shot room. Wiseman said, "I got her a shot of Fireball, and then I got her another one. For the rest of the party, I would go get a shot of Fireball. I don't even know if she took it, but it disappeared." The two laughed it off with shots of Fireball before getting back to the music. You can't reach the highest level of the popularity stratosphere these days without going viral. Fortunately for Fireball, a number of popular videos featuring the cinnamon liqueur have been widely circulated around the internet in recent years. GQ even asked actor Chris Pratt to film a video in which he provides acting advice. He chose to do so after taking several shots of Fireball, even taking one while filming. The clip has since garnered more than 2 million views on YouTube.
Let's say you forget about your spouse's birthday and they confront you about it. Simple. You just be honest.
Fireball does a great job creating its own video content, consistently producing them for its platforms. As you can imagine, the company releases quite a bit of spooky-themed vids around Halloween. So there's no shortage of Fireball shots and creative videos to promote the brand and entertain customers. Keep them coming, Fireball. We like your style. Fireball has become one of the go-to shots for partiers, meaning it's easy for a group to run out of the cinnamon liqueur. The company came up with a solution to that problem. In September, the brand started selling the Fire Keg, which is filled with a whopping 5 liters of Fireball. For those uninterested in crunching numbers, 5 liters equals 115 shots of the spicy spirit, more than enough to keep you and your friends busy for quite some time. It comes with 3 pouring spouts to prevent any in-party jostling. The Fire Keg retails for roughly $75 and is now available for purchase at retailers across the country. The Fire Keg isn't the only party-related Fireball product, however. The company also sells a pack of 30 25ml prepackaged shots known as Peel and Party shots, as well as a party bucket of 20 50ml Fireball bottles. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite beverages are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.